Time to give Wadis to Baronite.
Haven't seen you around for a while. Workbench is free if you... with that gear.
To which the boar says, "What? You need a carpenter?" Whatever you're having.
How am I supposed to work with a hammer in this state?
Cool, fool. Till Oven blows that whistle, no one's working anywhere.
Drunk?
This should be useful.
Never
Now I just need to
fear,
get
my lady.
Wadis moving.
Come on, spit it out. Tinkering with one hammer isn't gonna kill you.
Unless Oven and his cronies hear
Yeah, you!
I didn't do nothing.
Genius, an apple in my mouth and an arrow sticking out of my head.
Oh, that's a lot
Hey!
of red hair.
Ah!
Machines I can deal with. But there's some unruly storms moving far west.
Good
Let's
day!
hope they stay there.
Maybe chat.
I know
Later.
you see me. Yo, Scrounger! Ah, finally!
Tell me you're having a better day than I am.
You look
me
pretty
out.
capable,
Buy me
sister.
one more
Tried your
drink,
hand at the
and I'll
fighting
talk.
pit yet?
better make it too.
And the nurse goes, "Oh, I see it. It's out of the bowl."
Throw me in with pigs. I dare you.
There's enough of me for you all.
Salutations.
And
Or couldn't finish.
sister.
The way to Barren Light is clear. Get moving.
You're not errand vanguardsman. I will move only when the captain
When
says...
I've cleared out all the bristlebacks, which I have. Captain's orders.
So they're okay?
Banged up, but breathing. And waiting up ahead for you.
Well, I shall not be moving anywhere until the whistle has sounded. If it is not safe for them, then it is not safe for me.
Fine. I'll make sure the whistle gets blown, and then I'll be back.
Hear that? We're not leaving yet. Unpack the cart!
No. I'll be right back. Don't get comfortable.
As if that were possible here.
Petra mentioned Olvind is supposed to be in charge around here. Guess I should talk to him to get the whistle blown.
Slow down.
Boy, flat.
We are on the same side here, Ulvund. The bristlebacks threaten... What do you want, Ulvund? Some kind of payment?
My dear magistrate, you think I can be bought? If you want that whistle blown, all you have to do is have your soldiers remove the bristlebacks and sign the concession decree. Face it, what other choice do you have?
Hi.
Savior, what auspicious timing. Might we discuss a matter of importance to the Sundom?
We might. Later.
Very well. I shall be waiting.
So, the savior herself. Walloper of Derval, gutter of youth.
Maybe.
I've heard many tales of your beauty and heroics, my fierce lady warrior. Ulvund Freeholder, at your service. So, what could have dragged you away from the fine silks and wine of Meridian to this smudge of a settlement? Your saviorly attention must be needed elsewhere.
I'm here for the embassy and...
The embassy? Why, by the forge. Ah. Greater gears for greater matters. Guess that means you'll be moving on.
Once I've dealt with any problems around here that need my saviorly attention.
Ah, the bristlebacks, of course. Got to get rid of them if you want that embassy to take place. Well, Best get to it, hey? And off you go.
Not so fast. You don't seem to have a high opinion of the magistrate?
Well, I refuse to play nice to some fancy-robed parchment pusher when my fellow laborers are being bullied, intimidated, and taken advantage of.
How noble of you.
Noble, ha! Born with a hammer in hand, I was. Nobody handed me anything or dropped opportunity into my lap. Everything I've achieved, I've done on my own.
And where is this hammer now?
The, burden of leadership forced me to set it aside. The Carja risk nothing, while demanding that good Osseram gamble with their lives out there. Someone had to step up and say no more.
You ordered the work stoppage?
Indeed I did. We're laborers, not soldiers. Until the Carja clean up their mess and give us the fair deal we deserve, I'm not risking Osseram lives.
Fair deal? You mean your concession decree?
It's not my decree. It's on behalf of all the good Osseram laborers of this land who do all the back-breaking work, while only the Carja reap the rewards. All we're asking for is the ability to share in this prosperity for a land worked by the people, for the people.
Right. And just how much would be your share?
Only an amount appropriate to my contributions to this community, of course.
I cleared out all the bristlebacks.
Oh, you did?
Now that you've recovered from your shock, time to blow the whistle.
Oh, there, not so fast. I'll have to send someone out to confirm the kills. Make sure the valley is safe again. It shouldn't take more than a day. Or two.
No. You blow the whistle now.
These are innocent Osram lives we're talking about here. Surely the delay...
Either you do it now, or I will.
Ah, I knew you could do it! Friends, gather round. The savior of Meridian has done it again.
What?
The bristlebacks are defeated. You.
What?
Sound the whistle. Chain Scrape is open for business.
Terrific. Yay.
And Ulvund has agreed to personally pay every worker their lost wages.
Yeah!
That's more like it!
Yeah!
Woo!
Ha-ha!
Yeah! Yeah!
Don't you have an embassy to get to?
Yeah, I guess I do.
Whoever it was that cleared it. I'm just glad to be putting Canada to sleep.
Now the chain scrape's back to work. Merchants should be open to trade. I should see if they have anything useful before I send Wadis off to Barrenlight. Better see what that Carja magistrate wanted. I bet
Hello?
he's in the tavern.
Enjoying the dawn? Yeah, it took some getting used to. You! I know you see me.
If I'm drunk, you!
I've heard of your adventures. My armor can help.
What was I saying?
Brought out only the good stuff for you, Red. Seeing as you got that whistle blowing.
Hey, I've been waiting to get my lucky hammer fixed for days.
You haven't done anything useful like getting rid of any bristlebacks, though, have you? Take your time. I promise you won't be disappointed. Come back anytime.
Now can I get this fixed?
I can fix your tools. Afraid there's no fixing you.
Yeah, wooing an opulent woman with a poem sounds like a great idea.
Open monkey. Hey! Oh, that's right. Just barrel through a stranger.
You heard the whistle. Time to go.
But I was supposed to have 3 escorts.
I'm off to Barren Light, Wadis. Like Aloy said, Captain's orders. You can stay here.
Abandoned to the riffraff? I think not.
Guess you're coming with me then. See you there, Aloy.
Well, now that that's done, the embassy can finally get underway. If I can get through it, I'll be able to track down Silence, Hades, maybe even a Gaia backup. Guess I could head straight for Barren Light. Or poke around the Daunt some more first. And maybe take Petra up on that drink.
Let me tell you, weather's madder than a badger with rabies to start with. You ever seen a badger with rabies? Well, I have.
Who's on here, but they're better.
Aloy.
No one wants to play strike.
Come for that beer after all,
Anyway.
eh? Here, sit down. Get a pint in her hand. Wasn't expecting you to swing by.
Since when do I do what's expected?
There's that spark. Fire and spit.
Fire and spit.
That's a blast from the bellows. Won't fix the forge, but at least I can forget about my troubles for a while.
Like what?
Well, things aren't as bad since you got this place running again. But we still got Olvin grating the gears about his concession decree. If you don't put that down, I'll come over there and show you how that game ends. Anyway, right now, I'm just worried about those refugees out from Sunfall. To come all this way enduring Forge knows what.
Shadow Carja refugees. What are they doing in the Daunt?
Looking for a new home, I gather. They're camped out by an old trailhead, southwest of here. And therein lies the problem. A Stormbird crashed up on the cliffs last week, and Talon Cleanbrokers had his eye on the salvage ever since. But the refugees have barred entrance. Mustn't interrupt their sun-scorched ritual. Something about finding a twilight path.
Huh. Never heard them talk about that before.
Yeah, well, these particular Shadow Carja are an odd bunch. But overall, they're peaceful folk. Not that it matters to Talon. He'll crack some heads to get to that salvage. Maybe you could swing by, convince him to set up camp somewhere else?
So the bristlebacks and the Daunt. Where did they come from?
That's the thing. No one rightly knows. They just showed up one day, rampaging around the valley like they exploded out of a forge. Lost some good people. But bless the bellows, you cleared them out and got this place working again. That put a dent in Ulvin's plans. Now, if only there was some way to smash them all together and run them out of town.
But how could bristlebacks and the Daunt help Ulvin?
2 words. Concession decree. Since no one knows where the bristlebacks came from, Ulvin has taken to blaming the Karja for them. He's hoping to dig up enough old resentments to get a strike going until the concession's signed. This is just his latest attempt. He's been trying to rile up the workers since the day he rolled into town.
And people actually believe him?
Lots of folks suffered at the hands of the Mad King during the Red Raids. Give him half a reason, they'll blame the Karja for anything.
Ah, damn Karja slavers.
I thought you'd be back in Freeheap.
Well, after the big battle at Meridian, I went back. But realized it was running smooth. Didn't need me. Heard about the rebuilding out at Barren Light. Figured they could use another hammer. Been scraping by ever since.
You could always leave.
And go back east? Nah. I ain't one to leave a lit forge. Besides, someone's gotta be a squeaky wheel for the workers around here.
What else can you tell me about the Shadow Karja refugees?
Well, they don't call themselves Shadow Karja for one. At least, not anymore. They're some other brand of sun-crazed. But whatever side of the sun they're on, they're peaceful through and through. Don't seem to want for nothing except a place to live, pray, and just enough food to keep from starving.
So they're just camped outside by a trail, blocking entry to a wrecked Stormbird, waiting for what, exactly?
Don't rightly know, but I'll tell you this. Should they ever wise up and salvage it, a Stormbird heart is worth a lot. And if they get there first, then by Ostrom law, it's theirs. Not that Tolan Cleanbrokers ever lost sleep over any law-breaking.
Who is this Tolland Cleanbroker?
Just some chuff-huffing pondsman. Got a shop here in town. Lived in Chainscrape since there was a Chainscrape. He and Ulvin go back a ways. Like a pair of coals and a campfire, those two.
So Tolland works for Ulvin?
Ha! Ulvin might think so, but Tolland scrapes up his own scams. And he ain't the type to let a few refugees get between him and Stormbird salvage.
Well, if I'm up that way, I'll talk to the refugees. Try to convince them to move.
Much appreciated. They have it rough. Don't need Tolland making it rougher.
Petra said Tolland has a shop here in Chainscrape. I could have a word with him. First.
Hey, Milda. Milda. I took some of your stew last time I went into the wilds. Kept me going for a week. Felt like I could have put a strider in a sleeper hole.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
Sounds like you're serving up some impressive provisions here.
Not again. You can have the discount too, but you'll have to come back later.
I think you have me confused with someone else.
Ulvin didn't send you?
No.
Oh, my apologies. It's just that his minions won't stop pestering me. Now I've even worn out my special grip. Since I'm in the midst of a crisis, perhaps you could skip to what it is you wanted?
Some of your food?
Of course.
Are Ulvin's people causing you problems?
Oh, yeah. They constantly demand my best, but the equipment I need to make my signature dishes isn't built for batch cooking. And don't get me started on the Ulvin discount they feel so entitled to.
And if you refuse?
I make meals. No trouble.
How did you end up in Chainscrape?
Heard about a new and upcoming town at the edge of the frontier. Where there's a town, there's a tavern. I was in need of work. So I got myself out here and started cooking. Some of these people had never tasted proper boars and berries stew before. Anyway, next thing I knew, people kept coming back. Guess they liked my food. Or the ale.
Your last customer mentioned your cooking really kept him going out in the wild. Where I'm headed, I could use some of that.
I would be happy to oblige, especially since you have the decency to ask pleasantly.
But
my special groove griddle is no more. Without it, I can't cook any of my signature dishes. I hate to think what'll happen when I'm forced to refuse Ulvin or his goons. Even if I already had the right ingredients, there's nothing I can do. Unless you can source me a temporary replacement?
What do you need?
For the ingredients, a few pieces of decent wild meat, and I'd say a big handful of bitter leaf stems. That'll do. As for the griddle, a corrugated metal panel might suffice until I can have a new one forged. You'd likely find one in a scrounger pile, if you follow the river to the northeast. Don't worry, I'll clean it first. You'll have no issue finding boars and bitter leaf on your way. Assuming you're as much a hunter-gatherer as your clothing suggests.
Thanks, Mildef. I'll keep an eye out.
So that's what gratitude sounds like.
And don't let anyone push you around, okay?
If you say so.
To revel in some strike, sister? Let me set the board.
I was just passing by.
First timer, huh? Don't worry about it. I'll go easy on you. You got any pieces?
No.
Well, aren't you in luck then? I got an extra set, a Tanakh original straight out of the Forbidden West. Sit Sit. I'll run you through it in a hot spark. I'll give you something special if you win it on my boards, too. All right, let's start off simple. The Tanakh like to say that Machine Strike is a game of pure strategy. We each get a set of pieces. Each piece represents a kind of machine, and each machine is worth a different number of victory points. And to win the game, you'll need to gain 7 victory points by destroying the opponent's machines. It can be tricky remembering the details of every, so we use these notes to keep track of them. You see that number on the top right corner? That there is how many victory points you'll get for destroying that machine. Notes also tell you how powerful their attacks are, and of course, their health. Okay, that's enough for now. Let's just play. I'll explain the rest as we go. I own the board, so I get to choose who goes first. Since this is your first time, I'll let you go. Usually you get to choose which pieces to set on the board, but this will do for now. Pick up that machine piece to your right, and move it forward. And remember, each machine can only move a certain distance. Take a look at your notes if you need a reminder. Gotta move that machine forward. Just need to, move that machine. Easy enough, huh? Now, you get to move 2 machines each round, so go ahead and pick a second machine. Perfect. There's not much else to do for now, so just end your turn. We still got a lot of ground to cover. End your turn. Best end your turn so we can keep going. You have to end your turn there, Red. You have to end your turn there, Red. Best end your turn so we can keep going. We still got a lot of ground to cover. End your turn. We're forging onwards. Let me move my pieces here. And we're back to you. This time, why don't you try attacking one of my pieces? Try with that machine on your right first. Now move the piece close enough to when performing an attack, you'll be testing your machine's combat and its own attack power. This board only has, and your current machine has, so in total, since my machine isn't, and just like your machine, so right now, this means your machine, did you get all that? Knew you were a smart one. Finish up by attacking. Just attack my machine, okay? Come on now, attack my machine so we can move on. Not pulling any punches, huh? Now grab that second machine of yours. Let's keep going. See how your machine can't move close enough to attack my... You can make your machine... Try it out. Go ahead. Just sprint. If you sprint... Try sprinting up to one of my machines. Downside to sprinting is that your machine can... Now, some players like to take a risk, and you're gonna have to overcharge that machine to land a hit on mine. Just overcharge your machine and attack mine. Let's go. That's about it for your turn, then. Go on, then. You're done. Now, I'll let you in on a neat trick. That machine of yours, the one closest to me, grab a hold of it. Don't leave me hanging. Just grab the machine closest to me. Same as in the wilds. Machines have both armored points and weak points. You can... Blue shows... Hit them there, and you'll do some damage, but not a lot. Now, red... Here, let me show you. Rotate that piece so your machine faces mine. Rotate that machine so... It's easy. Gotta rotate that machine if you want to attack my piece. It's easy. Gotta rotate that... Rotate that machine so it faces mine. Gotta rotate that machine if you want to attack my piece. Now let that machine... Off the board she goes, and there's your first victory points. You don't have 7 of them yet, so let's keep going. Your machine attacked mine, but hasn't moved yet. Go ahead and move downwards towards my remaining piece. You've already attacked a machine and moved your piece. But, and by the look of your machine's health, you'd be sacrificing your... But sometimes... That can be a good thing. Just gotta overcharge that machine and attack mine. You're still getting the hang of it, I know. Now, overcharge and attack my machine. Let's keep this game going. Overcharge your machine. Ain't that a thrill? Now, because your machine was knocked out at the same time as mine, we both get the victory points our machines are worth. Good news is, you're gonna receive, which means you can... That's why some... Now, but that means that wasn't so hard, was it? Just remember to always check for the best terrain to attack from. You'd be surprised the advantage you can gain over an opponent like that. I know it saved my behind in a game or two.
I'll try and remember that.
Oh, before I forget, these are all my spare pieces. I want the Savior of Meridian to have them. It's a small set to be sure, but it should be enough to get you in on any strike games you find out there. You might even fancy looking out for them strike carvers. They've got all kinds of unique pieces that can turn a game in your favor, though they'll need the right materials to craft you one. Or you might find them in the wilds if you're lucky. You know, I've lost my fair share of pieces after a night of machine hunting or brew hopping. Oh, no need to thank me. Always a pleasure to help out new strike players. Now, if you feel like playing a real game, I've got plenty of other boards. I could even teach you a few more tricks if you're up for it.
Thanks. I'll think about it.
Come back anytime, Red.
Savior, over here.
Not like the stuff we used to get. Drop him.
Savior, thank you for taking the time, and my condolences that you had to endure Ulvund's bloviating.
I've dealt with worse. It sounds like he's really trying to put you over the barrel.
The idea that the Karja purposely let bristlebacks into the Daunt, it's completely absurd. But the louder and longer he says it, the more support he'll get for his damned concession decree.
How did the bristlebacks get into the Daunt?
No one knows for sure. The first report of them came from west of the quarry. But unless they have wings I don't know about, I don't see how they could have come over the mountains.
No other way in.
The only way I know about is barren light. Look, if you can get to the bottom of this, I can offer a considerable bounty in return. Help me shut Ulvund up.
What is this concession decree that Ulvund wants?
He wants the Sundom to designate portions of the Daunt as Oseram holdings. Only the portions, mind you, that produce any value.
Let me guess. Because he stands to profit somehow?
Exactly. With the Daunt under Oseram law, he could secure more investment for their numerous ventures.
He can't get those investments without the concession?
No. Not while there's a chance the Sundom could revoke their access. Hence, why the concession is so important to him. And why blaming the Karja for the bristlebacks, no matter how absurd, works in his favor.
How did you get stuck out here?
I asked for the posting, believe it or not. Overseeing the entire valley on behalf of the Sun King? It was an honor. Is an honor, I mean.
But your job would be a lot easier without someone like Ulvund blasting hot air all the time?
Ulvund's not going anywhere. He's been around longer than I have. Even fancies himself the founder of Chainscrape. I'll find a way to live with him. I have to.
You said the bristlebacks were first spotted west of the quarry?
Yes, according to one terrified laborer, said the ground trembled before they came charging down the hillside. He took off and ran all the way here.
Good place to start looking, then.
If you learn the truth, maybe Ulvund will stop blaming the Karja for every problem under the sun, and maybe then he'll actually focus on rebuilding Barren Light instead.